We're celebrating with Stan Lynch. Of course, you know him from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and now the Speaker Wars. What a great band and record. You make every lie come true. It ain't easy. I mean, the songs are great. The sound is recognizable, man. You got feelings from the past, but you're doing something new. Tell us how this band came together.
Uh, I was writing in Nashville for many years after I left the band, or band left me, whatever you want to call it. Um, I was working in Nashville as a writer and producer, and one of the tapes that came across my desk was a guy named John Christopher Davis, and he was being groomed to make a record, and I loved his songs. I thought he was a great singer, and and he was just full of energy. He was just a very exciting guy, and we bonded, and then both of us had a belly full of Nashville right about the same time, because the music there was changing so dramatically, and we were embedded in Merle and Willie and Chris Christopherson, and we were embedded in all that, and that was leaving town quickly. So we both left town. He went to Texas. I came to Gainesville. We kept our relationship going, wrote a bunch of songs together over the years. And then one day, we just, John actually said it. He said, why don't we make a record? And I'm like, damn, I never thought of that. So it was very organic. The song started as demos, and a lot of it happened during COVID, during the quarantine recording phase of life, I learned a lot during that phase with file sharing and how to layer songs without everybody being in the same room. Very frustrating. Not my style, but John was very accommodating, and we ended up with an assembly of a lot of songs. We've got a bunch more if we get a chance to make another record. I'm very excited that we've got plenty of songs. We got a band that's really good. They're all Texas boys, and we just signed with a label that I feel pretty good about. I feel real good about it because they like it. So hopefully we can get to work. That would be the highest compliment I can get, is somebody wants to see it and we're going to go play.
And over what kind of process were these songs coming together? Were they all, written in a certain time period, or were they, kind of a process over the years?
Kind of a process. Some of these songs we had even touched on back when we were still writers in Nashville. So some of these songs have like roots that go back quite a while, but the bulk of it came together pretty quickly. I'd say, I got really stir crazy during COVID. Like probably, I mean, well, not I, we all, and all, especially musicians, I really miss the camaraderie of being able to be working. So that's when the bulk of the work hit. About 6 months into COVID, I went, well, shit, I can't just put it on cement blocks until the world opens up. Let's start working. Let's build these songs. Let's make sure we got them. Let's open them up. And it was fun. So it's it's a good project, and it's very satisfying. And to be in a band is an adjustment for me. I hadn't done that in a long time, but
Sure.
John's great, and he holds my hand for it and walks me in, and he's a great guy. And all the guys are great.
What is it, a five piece, or how many members in the band?
It's six. Actually, we've
Six
got
piece.
guitar, bass, drums, percussion, singer, and keys. Did I just say seven? Guitar, I don't know, six. Got a
Six piece.
Okay. The percussion player is a great drummer. He's fantastic, and he plays, and they all sing, and it's a lot about singing too. Everybody in the
Right.
band, um, we really want to try to learn that the learns to sing. Even like John and I love gospel music, so we're baked in all that. We're crazy. I mean, it's like the Buddy Rich story. There's only two kinds of music: good and bad.
That's
You
it.
know? So we're trying to stick to some good, and we both generally land in the same place. And the rest of the guys do too. We all kind of go like, just I'm hoping for more of the evolution as we make another record that we can go in more like the old band, the old Heartbreakers, and just go in and put up some mics and start running songs and seeing which ones stick to the wall, seeing what holds. And
Right.
I love that. I love that not knowing if this is going to work. I love, and you can hear it in the music. You can hear it when a band doesn't really know that you hear the bond being created on the record. And that's what I miss about modern records is you don't hear the bond because it's a drum machine and it's a this and it's a that, and everybody did their perfect parts. But I love those old records that I grew up listening to where you go, you hear them all scrambling to find it in the intro, and you hear the victory lap in the tag, and you hear the explosion of the chorus, and um I love that unstable feeling. I think Bill Wyman used to call it a wobble in the Stones. He called that we have this lovely
Right.
wobble. And
Yeah,
I,
Sticky Fingers, Exile on Main Street, all those records had that.
well, it's, there, I mean, you can only aspire to being great. You can't ever learn to be great. It just has to either happen for you or it doesn't. But I love being in a band, and I love that. I love the humor among musicians is it's divine. When you get five or six guys laughing, oh shit, man, it's like being a kid in the sand pit, playing with your toys. You just nothing beats it for me.
Well, you're up there in northern Florida near Georgia and Alabama. I mean, not that far from Muscle Shoals. I mean, so many of those records, speaking of Exile on Main Street and all that, so many of those great soul and rock and soul records were cut. I don't know if you've been to that studio, but that's what's amazing. Or you go to Memphis and you see the original Sun
Yeah,
Studios or Stax, it wasn't some big technologically divine, spaceship. It was literally a room and a board and a machine. And it really reminds you that that's what's the most important. It's the songs and the performance. And I know
it's
you're a fan of those records.
oh God, yeah, that stuff. Sam Moore just died recently, and so I'm
Rest
diving
in
deep
peace.
into his work and all the stack stuff, and it's just, oh man, that's the mother church. That music is so it's deceivingly simple, and that's the highest compliment you can give almost anyone. When they say, I used to be insulted, you make it look easy. Well, it fucking ain't. But it's like when you see John McEnroe hit a backhand and it's like, oh, it looks easy. Well, you try it. It's like, so that's when I hear the Stax records and you hear a song like Soul Man and you go, I love it when some punk says to me, well, man, anybody can do that. It's like, nope, they can't. That's Steve Cropper,
Yeah.
that's who's doing that. That's Duck Dunn, man. It's like, so um, it's really easy to overlook the purity and the honesty of good music. It's really easy to think you know more than that. It's like you don't. Those
Yeah.
guys hold a patent. They hold a sonic patent that forget it. Just forget it. Just you can only listen and admire. You can try to emulate, but you'll always sound pale. You'll just sound pale.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I spoke to Steve Cropper recently, and I love his stories of literally he and Duck Dunn. I mean, the Booker T, they'd go into Stack Studios like daily, almost like work, like sessions.
yeah.
And little did they know when you look back at the scope of it that they were recording legendary records on a weekly
Oh,
basis.
oh man. And then to say it holds up, the understatement of the decade. It's like, yeah, it's like it's still yeah, that's a summit. Those records are summits, like Wilson Pickett records. You know, I mean, forget it, Like I just
Yeah.
recently listened to Don't Let the Green Grass Fool You, Wilson Pickett, and I went, oh my God. I don't know what as a kid, I just remember probably thinking it was funny, or I don't know what I thought, but today when I hear it, I just go, you shit, that's flight fuel, man. That burns white hot.
Really is. Well, the speaker wars coming out, of course, Taste of Heaven, Never Ready to Go, The Forgiveness Tree, When the Moon Cries Wolf, Traitor South, Leave Him, Sit with My Soul, I Wish You Peace. Every song on the record has got a great feel, and I'm already seeing, people screaming to see you guys come out and play this live. Where where was the recording? Where did you make this record?
Well, some of it was done right in this room I'm sitting in,
Okay, I'm
and
I'm figuring.
some of it was done in Texas. And
Okay,
John and I would travel back and forth, and but yeah, it was we the idea of, I think, having a it seems like everybody, once Pro Tools sort of became a de facto standard, and you can record pretty well if you take your time and own good microphones, and like you said, performance is the ultimate plug-in. I mean, if you play great, shit, you could have like two, SM7s or 257s. I mean, Creedence Clearwater records, I don't know if they sound amazing, but they are amazing. The groove is great. The songs are great. Performances are stellar. I don't give a shit what they sound like, because they kill me. So recording in a big time recording studio to me is a bit of puffery, unless you have that many people and you need that kind of space. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it'd be fun, but in truth, budgets don't support that really anymore. Um, those recordings that we did with the Heartbreakers were very expensive. When you look back and you go, "Oh my God," fortunes were spent, and you don't really need to do that anymore. It's fun. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. If somebody said, "Hey, you want to go spend a month at some great place with fabulous engineers," I'd be like, "Yeah," but it it's it's hard to do nowadays. And I like recording at home. I enjoy it. There's an informality of it. And in my mind, it's like music from Big Pink, or it's like all those records that I love that were so handmade, and it's just unique. They're very unique records. And that's where I'm headed. You know, at, at this age, I'm sort of headed into like, hey, I don't really know if it's competitive or contemporary, but I know I like it and it's fun. So I'm sticking there. That's the pocket I'm digging into.
well, we love the sound. Tell us the name. Where is the Speaker Wars come from?
Well, I was driving down the road in Texas with a friend, and we happened to see that what we thought said the Speaker Wars on the back of a travel trailer.
Uh huh.
And we both went like, what the hell is that? And we looked it up, and it doesn't exist. So we went, and my buddy's so funny because he's Southern. He went, well, maybe they're saying the speaker wires, like the speaker wires. And we turned out the speaker wires. And we just had a good laugh on it. And then it hit me, like one day I went like, the only war I'm going to fight is for what's coming out of the speakers. Like, that's the only time I'm ever going to get animated, or I won't say violent, but I'm going to become, it could get ugly. Like, I'll fight for that, but I won't fight. I'm not fighting about nothing else no more. Nothing. But if what's coming out of the speakers isn't as good as I can make it, you'll get a war. You'll get a fight, and I'll fight anybody for it. And John and I have learned to do that, where he'll go, I think that's pretty good. And I'm like, pretty good ain't what we're aiming for, man. We're aiming for your best. So, and then he'll go like, okay, there's the war. I get it. So that's the backstory on all of that.
Well, we love it. There's not enough good new rock and roll bands and albums coming out, but you got one. Our special guest is the one and only Stan Lynch, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. All of that great stuff, all mixed into one right here. The Speaker Wars. Get the record, enjoy it, and I'll be the first to ask you, please perform it live, man. We want to see it, and whether it be Cali or Texas or Colorado or wherever, Florida, we got to come. We'll be there. Thank you so
We,
much, Dan. It's been a real pleasure, and we're gonna get the word out, man. Let's
thank
make
you.
some let's make some noise.
Yeah, we plan on hitting the road. I think the record comes out in March, something like that, April or April, I think. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to figure out a way to put this thing on the road because I'd love it, and I think the world really needs to hear John sing. He's a
Yeah,
badass, and
he is.
he is. He's cool, and all the guys are fun. So thank you for your time, and appreciate it. Hope to see you guys out there on the road somewhere.